Hi, my name is Lakeisha from the Lakeisha Network. I am here to remind you to go to your Google or Apple App Store. Simply type the word LAKESHA and then search to install and download the Lakeisha Alert app to stay up to date on my new superior features. Subscribe to my YouTube page by opening up your app and clicking menu. Click on the About Us tab. Try to get familiar with my software and also teach it to your loved ones. And get your household familiar with my information. It will be useful in the future. You're welcome in advance.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was... Look again. Freeze it.
This isn't the Matrix.
No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them.
Ooh. Halito. Halito, everyone. How is everyone doing?
Halito, this is Charky and Letty this morning. How are y'all doing this morning?
This AM, sister, this AM. We ain't morning.
I apologize.
No, I'm just helping you out. No need to apologize.
You know, I'm still learning, baby. They messed us up. I'm still trying to get past some of this stuff I use on a regular. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to reteach everything.
Hello?
We got to start somewhere.
Hello?
Great awakening, great rising, good AM, good day to everyone out there. That's my youngins in the back. They're saying great AM to everyone.
Yes, I was trying to set up a meeting, but I ended up doing
Great
something
AM,
else.
children.
So I wasn't able to finish the meeting because we have a lot.
Yashua, I'm trying to see everyone. Lotus, Data, Cherokee, and Aboriginal.
Within the network.
Peace, peace. What's up, tribe? How y'all doing?
And so
Halito.
we're gonna
CEO, Yahweh, everyone. See you to everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna need the same thing, for other countries as well, But yeah, we're getting together, we're networking, and
So what's up, tribe? What we building about today? What's the mathematics?
I
Took the
think
words right.
maybe this could be something that could help us further what we're trying to do. I don't really have a topic. We were speaking earlier about what the gentleman was saying about how if people don't know who they are, they tend to act out in a certain way, and that's because they don't know who they are. They have no lineage. They don't know, and I think by us not knowing who we are and them labeling us
But we just gonna
and
have to leave this
putting
for
certain
to let it grow.
stigmas on
It was
certain
mainly because Mary couldn't make it, so
people.
we're probably gonna have one
Um,
maybe next week.
and the youth now
We're gonna have
is
one next week.
so different from I just turned 50, and the youth is totally different. So and it's hard to get get through to them, but it's so much information that we have, and if it's I feel that if it's presented in a way
Yes. I
that
know. I'm gonna
they
get you. I'm
can't
gonna
do
get you
anything
that.
but you
But
know
the only
change and begin to realize that we are a people of power and just you know I lost train of thought, y'all, excuse me.
No, it's
It's
okay.
just
But
so
to feedback off of what you said, me being 35, I've seen that the youth are more open to hearing and learning about who we are than people that are my age and your age.
That's
Um,
true.
I speak to young folks that of Hispanic and you know our skin tone, and even a couple of natives. Crazy enough, I've spoken to them about history and how it was manipulated, and how people need to wake up and know and see who we are, and we need to connect and not be divided, and so on. And I promise you not, I've had a lot of 23 and 25-year-olds engage in conversation with me way longer, way more, passing information on like, hey, did you read the book of 1984 and this and that? And I mean, they are more engaging than the people that are in their 30s and 50s. It's really amazing. So I really think that the future that we hold for our youth is actually stronger than our ancestors. I not our ancestors, our elders. And it's sad to
mm,
me because our youth is out there looking for someone to gravitate to, someone to unify
mhm,
with, and we don't have ourselves together where they can do so. And I think that like we spoke on earlier, that is something we need to do. We need to get this information and evidence into one spot, into one place, even multiple places, but that same information, so that there's a place where people can come to and feel connected, get a piece of fresh air and a peace of mind where they feel like, okay, I'm not lost. I'm not, going crazy. I do have somewhere and someone I belong to. I do have a place where I'm accepted. Because I was talking to my great uncle last night, and he was telling me that he lives in Boulder, Colorado, where all the all the skin folk don't talk to each other. They just look at each other in the grocery store and walk by and don't say anything except for him and a Haitian individual. They see each other and they're happy to see each other. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be able to not care about what the world labels us as and see our brothers and sisters and be able to embrace them with a smile, a hug, a halito, um, and make them feel welcome and appreciated and feel like they have a purpose, because we all do have a purpose.
I want to just add something to that. I noticed the same thing. I've been teaching for a little while now, and I noticed that the younger generation has a more thirst for knowledge than our elders. What I will say to that is that now that I think about it, our elder generations, the 40s to 60s. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm by the highway. The 40s to 60s. When you think about it historically, they their generation was kind of the generation that they put the fix on, so to say, the divide and conquer more than anyone else. Because I can remember, hold on one second, yo. I'm running through running on the side of the road. But I can remember like my grandmother's generation and their generations before that, they still had some sense of self. They had some sense of unity. They had some sense of community. But I have noticed, like with my parents' generation, their generation seems to be the generation that just was like, fuck everything. We gonna make this money, and it's kind of sad because it left us in a place to where we didn't have any foundation to build upon. We didn't know where to go. We didn't know where to look. And
Right.
I'm proud of my generation for not just accepting what our predecessors accepted before and deciding to do something different to better our descendants. So the future looks bright for us as far as how I'm seeing it, because we have so many of our young people who are invigorated by this information and who wants to know more. And they're even being the ones who go out and try to teach it to their elders. And like I said, like most of the elders I've spoken to a lot of good elders who want to learn the information. But as far as like my immediate family, as far as like immediate elders, especially down here in the South, they don't want to hear that shit. They just want to hear whatever's safe and whatever's going to get you through to the next day. And that's kind of the mentality that they have been programmed to have. You know what I'm saying? And I don't fault them for that, because we already know what has happened to their generation and what they have been through psychologically. I just think that it's something that we need to address, because we need to bridge the gap between the elders and the younger generation for us to really build a proper foundation. I
And can I
digress.
come in right there? Because
Facts.
I'm telling you, how y'all doing today?
Hey,
Hi,
Mama
Mama
T.
Chief. Happy Earth
Hey,
Day.
Hey,
everybody.
Mama.
Thank y'all.
Happy Earth Day.
It's with
Happy
you
Earth
guys.
Day, Mama T.
It's with you guys I enjoy the most. This is a good day. Listen, yesterday, y'all, it was such a, oh, wow. I saw all these elderly people that I'm bouncing through the place like, hey, y'all, they sitting there and I'm like, hey, y'all Indians, how y'all doing? Look at me like I was stupid.
I
They looked
know
at
they
me like I
did,
was
Shingy.
stupid.
I know they did too. I have that happen
Y'all,
all the
They said
time.
and
we
I'm so
black.
glad I ain't have
They
I forgot
all
my,
the black company. They said we black. We black. I said you
man.
black. Yes, we're black. I said,
I asked one brother, he's sitting there looking, he was dark as ever, and I left. I said, brother, let me ask you a question. I was like, are you American or African? Oh, I'm African. I said, really? I said, what part of Africa? Oh, I don't know. I said, really? I said, well, would you please just tell me, do you know anything about the fact that Liberia was built up from people from America? He said, really? I was like, yeah. So I gave him a little history and stuff, and it's like him and his son. Him and his little boy look like he's about 16. And they was looking at me, strangely, but I gave them the history. I said, please research, man. I said, I just had to tell them about the census, but I did not feel led. And I'm telling you, amongst all those elders there, because when I spoke and said they was Indians, I said, I know y'all about the same age as me or older. That y'all heard your grandparent or great grandparent, somebody say, you was Indian or had Indian in you.
Yep.
One lady told me, oh, you got me mixed up with somebody else. I said,
no, she did not.
There's a lot of us in
Okay.
denial. We have to
I
accept
said,
that.
oh, and then by that time, one of the other sisters sitting at the table, she said, oh, yeah, my great granddaddy did say he was an Indian. I say, well, okay. At least we got one Indian at this table. No.
Right.
But I
She
had
was to
all my
include you.
information there. I had all my information there. And I met one of my cousins who orchestrates the family reunion all the time. And her husband, he came to me and he said, I know who you is. He said, I'm Big Chief. Or the mechanics. He said, I do the mechanics, like that. And I'm the Big Chief. He already knew who I was, but my cousin told me. But I didn't know who he was. But he told me, he said, forward me all the information I need, cuz. So if I ain't going nowhere but for him and his lineage, I did do something. But I had all that. You should have saw how much stuff I had packed. I packed everything. All the paperwork. I wanted to show them the land paperwork, everything. But these people, they didn't want to hear that. So I left them just like I found them. And it's sad.
I think, hey,
It's
Mama,
sad.
I think that's something that
It's
a
on
lot of our
for
teachers,
you.
they coming to understand that, look, like, if somebody ain't receiving the information, maybe it ain't for them. And we got to be okay with that. We got to understand
Mm-hmm.
that there is no great exodus of our people that's just going to rise up at the whip of a bell and just go to running and fighting for the ancestors. Like, that shit ain't
Indeed.
happening, y'all. It's just
Indeed,
not
it ain't
happening.
happening. Indeed, that's what
So,
I had to realize, So, the one that did, it was all good, and I felt like, okay. But I saw my people, I saw everybody, those, I just wanted to let them know, do not say you from Africa. Just please don't do that. That was the message I could leave with. Don't say you from Africa.
did y'all see how the Supreme Court just blocked Trump from asking people on the U.S. Census, are they American citizens or U.S. citizens now? So basically, he was trying to put on the census the questionnaire. On the questionnaire, are you a U.S. citizen? Which hasn't been on the census in the prior censuses and shit. So I started thinking, like, why would they care if you check, are you a U.S. citizen? But then I started thinking about, like, okay, if they getting ready to try to send motherfuckers away from here, or they're basically preparing people to get their status together and shit, it seems like that'll be a good precept before they start shipping motherfuckers away. I just want to get your opinion on that,
I
or if y'all
believe.
even heard about it.
Absolutely.
I agree.
It's
Yeah,
the
Yes.
truth.
yeah, that's what
Mm-hmm.
that's the plan, man.
That's part of the Agenda 21. That's why I
For
say
sure.
it's in that
Claim
Facts,
declaration.
African
mama.
American if you want to.
Declaration that says that in 2021 is when all the plans will be fully implemented. And the Agenda 21, the Rex 84, all these
Yup.
things tells us these things that's coming before us. But when you tell people they finna chip and ship them, if they don't understand, they laugh because they don't know
Some
that
of
what's
them do.
already been put before as a plan.
And you
Right.
got you got to think about this too. Around that time, when you said 2021 or whatever or whatnot, anybody that they permanently put like because they're trying to put African American on your birth certificate. So if you got that on there and you ain't do your genealogy around that time, they might not even try to ship you there. They might just put you in a FEMA camp and put you under the
Exactly.
guillotine and burn your ass.
That's
Look, they don't even
exactly if
Exactly.
have
they
that.
And
had
Look,
as a
I
see,
got
U.S.
two
citizen.
grandchildren. Look, y'all, I have
I got.
grandchildren that
That's
have
what I was
just
going
been
to say.
born within the last 4 years. They do not. My birth
They
certificate
don't
has
put
Negro on
nothing,
it. My children have it now. Nothing's on there.
and that's what they are doing now.
Facts.
See,
Yes.
I just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
told
so they
all
can
these
go
ladies
back.
that's on this line is actually on my on our call. We work together. All these ladies, I think, that's on this call.
Yes,
Rachelle ain't on here,
we
but these
Ty
are my
introduced
sisters. That's why they on point. They know what they talking about. Believe it.
That's real though. And you think about this, if they're leaving them open now, right? Then later on in history, that leaves them the opportunity to go back and
It's
put
not no
whatever the
later,
fuck they want
baby.
on
It
it.
ain't no later. They doing it right now. They're working
Yeah.
on the funds to change over 100 million birth certificates at this
Yup.
exact moment.
Yup.
Well, one thing from doing
And I know
genealogy, I
somebody they've
noticed too,
already changed that.
they
They
already
they
changed. Yeah, they
Yeah, they
already
said they
changed
went
a
and
lot
got
of shit.
them, and it's already been changed.
Cause I've been looking at my great grandparents,
so
and
that means you got to go in and correct it. You got to
I've been
go
looking
in
at their
and
shit
correct
on
those
digitally.
times.
I've been looking at their shit digitally, and it says that their ethnicity is American, but then it says their race is beef. So, and this is like allegedly from the 1800s census or the 1910 census, and we know they wasn't using that term back then.
Right. Very true.
I got that damn. I know when the paper genocide was performed on my family, because I traced back 169 years on the 1850 census. It says black, white, or mulatto. Ain't none of them boxes checked for none of the people on the census. So that means we Indians. But in 1902, on my great great grandfather's marriage license, it says colored. So that's when we were affected by that. And then the one dude that be making videos, Aboriginal Matt, he was doing a video about that, and he said his family was full blooded Choctaw, And in 1902, they put them on a freeman's card.
Yep,
I
I
got the
just watched
same
a video
Chief,
on
is
document.
that.
that when they
I have the
Chief, is
same
that when
document.
they discovered the did the Pilgrims in 1902? Wasn't that
Yes,
1902
yes,
when
1902,
they
yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
ah
yeah. But
ah
see, I have the same information about my lineage. So all of us cannot be wrong if we've done the research and found this information. Um, my they reclassified us with the Plecker thing with the vital statistics because our people didn't do vitals. The vital statistic uh place is the one that did the reclassifying Aborigine indigenous because this place is called the Indus Kush Valley. So when they try to like Columbus fakely automatically named us Indian because he thought he was in India when he named India. I mean, all this stuff is new. We got to understand. Everybody want to get tripping out talking about, well, then we're not Indian. Whatever. But whatever they put in these documents that says that we have a right to do and be, that's what we need to concentrate on because we absolutely have rights to do and be. And being and doing is what it's all about. So I would say everybody who has not already been reclassified from being a Negro, authenticate that Negro. Because that Negro meant that you was reclassified in 1924 by these beasts of burden. So go authenticate that thing before they change it and then become full faith and credit. Whatever that means, let's research and find out. Those that don't want to do paperwork, don't do paperwork. But those that do and understand what it's about, be and do. Relinquish the mic.
indeed.
I agree,
Ditto.
Mama. I agree 100% that, like I said before, we just gonna have to understand some people ain't gonna do what it takes to receive what they want. And if you're not willing to do what it takes to receive what you want, then you don't deserve what you claim you want. I
That's why I
digress.
might believe that 144,000 is a significant number, and that ain't but 1%.
True indeed. True indeed,
So I'm
Chief.
trying to be that
I'm
less
in that
than
number.
1%.
I'm in that number.
I
Shoot, I
believe
know
you.
I am.
I'm trying to
Shit.
be less than 1%. You feel me? I'm trying to be that one
That's
that
crazy,
will
Mama,
do.
because you right. Like, it really do feel like it ain't about 144,000 motherfuckers who got some sense.
That's what I'm saying, We
It's
gotta
very
look at that
true.
thing allegorically or factually, however we want to say it. But hey, I'm trying to make sure for the lineage behind me, because see, I'm checking out sooner or later, you know. I'm not
I
working
just
for
felt
my
like
cause. I'm working for these children.
exactly. That's what I was just about to say. I just feel like I might have messed up the first 30 years of mine, but I'm not finna
Yeah,
mess up none of theirs.
for sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah.
Back.
So it's an individual thing, like you said. It's us gotta just do. And that's why I decide, I know I get on here because every time I see y'all, I just love it. I know we're trying, we're at it. We're at it. But it's a lot of stuff that we need to do as a whole, those that want to do it. Some people they're gonna be here to the internet. Gonna be on the internet
Fall off.
forever. You know what I'm saying?
To the internet fall off. But what we need
Okay.
to do, this
Till
is
we get
one thing that
another till we get another medium, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I
I
got
feel
2
like
years.
everybody needs to know what their actual placement is or gift is now and change it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Convert it over to who we are now that we are aware of who we are. Not try to be anything greater or less than what you already value to be. That's our biggest problem is everyone finds out we are something and they try to escalate or raise themselves on a different standard. No, be who you already naturally are and allow the universe to change you as time goes by and you grow in self-identification.
I just want to add something to that because it's something I've been seeing in our community for a long time, and I think that it needs to be addressed. I hear a lot of people say that we need to build some type of corporate structure for the people who don't know or who need help or whatever the case may be. Like we need to build some type of infrastructure for people who are not yet ready to come to the information or haven't been able to. Now, I kind of got an adverse opinion on that because we didn't always know this information and somehow we came to it. So I think that is kind of taking out the personal responsibility and sacrifice that it takes to become an indigenous Aborigine. This shit ain't no shit that just makes you feel good and then you just hop on the internet and then you hop off and you go about your regular day. Like, and I think a lot of our people think that they can have their cake and eat it too, and I really don't feel like that you can. I feel like it's necessary to sacrifice a lot of things that come with this system in order for the liberation of our people. And if you're not willing to sacrifice whatever it is that you hold dear, whether it's your children, whether it's your job, whether it's your stability, whether it's your comfortability, if you're not willing to sacrifice and give up something to receive something, then you're not gonna fucking get it. So at the end of the day, if you want the truth, you gotta get your ass up off the fucking couch and go find it. If you don't, nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, here you go, here's your birthright, here's your lineage, here's your history. Now here, you use that and you reap all the benefits of it, even though you haven't even taken one step or ounce for yourself and for your lineage to do the due diligence of what it is to be an Aborigine. If you're not willing to do that, then you don't deserve to receive shit or any liberation from it. So I think
True, but
we,
that's not, I don't think that that's what we were saying. I'm saying we need to create, because we research, right? We research, we had to compile. Didn't most of us get information from multiple books, multiple researches, from speaking to one another? I grew, like, there's other people like me. I know there's other people like me, who remember or may not remember their where they came from as far as parents and grandparents. There's orphanages out there of children who don't know who they are at all. So isn't there something we should provide, a book, a website of some sort? Because people don't even know what Aboriginal mean. The word indigenous is, it's utilized for multiple people, not just us. So, I agree with you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be people that will expect you to hand them a book with all the answers in it. I'm saying we need to create a platform for them to be able to go to to have that information available for them to research and prepare themselves and see if that's where they feel that they can self-identify and fit. Because I, luckily, 8 years old, being dropped off, remember my grandparents and great grandparents' names and found them and was able to question and say, hey, are we this? Or remember being on the reservation when I was a little girl. So some of us don't have that. Some of us don't have that at all. So
But
how
what
do
about
I
the
agree with you.
ones that are
I
in
agree with you,
so
sister.
much debt? Wait a minute, listen, y'all. What about the ones that are in so much debt that are working 2 and 3 jobs that don't have time to go to do these things, can't afford to take off to do these things? What about
Hmm.
them?
Right. They need to be.
well,
They
Well,
need
that's
to
the
be
point
part
of
of a
let me
system.
sacrifice.
Right. They
but
need to
let
be
me ask the
part.
question. If I understand that out of concept as well, like having to sustain yourself. But at the same point in time, like my mom always used to tell me, if it's important to you, you'll make fucking time. So if this is your lineage, if this is your birthright, what is more important than taking out any amount of time, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, taking them out any amount of time to do the due diligence of your ancestors? I don't think that's too much to ask, even for the most busiest person. With my mama got like 5 jobs, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't like put her to say, oh, okay, well, she work a lot, so she don't have to do diligence of fucking figuring out who her ancestors is. That's a personal responsibility that each individual has to do, And it's the only way that you're going to actually be able to attach yourself to something or to the land and actually claim anything. You got to do your due diligence whenever you have time. You got to
Right,
make
I
time. You got to.
agree with that. I
right,
agree with
right,
that.
right. Let me say
And
something.
we have phones
Who,
and
who,
internets now. We should be able to pass message on to those around us,
But
mates,
to
yeah,
children.
yeah,
do
that's what
the
I was gonna
paperwork,
say because
y'all, to do
that's kind of my lane. You see what I'm saying? Is my job to take what you guys need and to make it very accessible. Okay, everything you guys need should be quick, fast. That's the world we're living in. We have fast food, fast internet, fast cars.
Microwave,
You know what I'm
right?
saying? Microwave
And
food.
it
You know what
should
I'm saying?
be people
That's
in
my job.
everybody's area that's
But
able to walk some of that paperwork down instead of, if they need birth certificates, if they need whatever, we need to be able to have people in that area that's able, if they're
yep,
across, wherever,
yep.
have someone in that area where they can go down and walk down and get those papers that they need.
Have a
Because
platform for them.
Facts.
we're
We need our
waiting.
own
We have
libraries, our
people waiting
own.
on
Yep.
birth certificates in the mail right now that they paid for over a month ago, and they still haven't gotten it. So we gotta
That's me.
Yep, we got a lot of work to do.
we got
Let
a
me give
lot
our
of
shout
work.
outs real quick because it's early in the morning. People coming out to see us. You know what I'm saying? We got it's a Tenji, Anokia, Two Spirits in the building, Eugene Page in the building, Executive Sessions. Where you been, bruh? Miss Ayel, only the wise in the building over there, Chief Holiday Channel. Let me see who we got over there in Tribe Up. Tribe Up finally got notifications today. We got Chad Murdoch in the building. Big ups. We got Jamaica out there. Where you been, bro? We missed you. We got Michael Roberts in the building, Gretchen Ham in the building. That's Elder right there. You know what I'm saying? Lady Holiday, she on the panel. You know what I'm saying? We got D Original. We got Original One out there. Brown 56. Mr. Brown, how you doing, man? We still got some more meetings down there in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jamaica. We got some stuff going on down there too. You know what I'm saying? Nino G in the building. He said, "What up to Chief Ether?" There's a lot of us on the panel though, but yeah, we all good. So
You know, I just want to say this too, real quick. What my last couple of comments wasn't directed to anything that anybody on the panel said directly. It's just the underlying understanding that I keep, seeing through the last 5 years of this little community that we've built. It's just like people are waiting on other people to have the blueprint or some shit. And we all are doing this
Agree.
organically. So nobody has the blueprint. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
we're,
I
we're,
agree.
we're, we're trying to create an infrastructure and a foundation to build upon. But we can't have our people watching us try to build the shit talking about, well, y'all ain't got nothing. You
Right,
see what I'm saying?
right,
You
No,
can
right,
be,
no, no.
you
right.
can,
But this is my thing too. You
Right.
can watch and then see what you can apply. There's a difference to me. Like, I guess it's because of how I see. If I see somebody working on something, here's a better example. I see someone pushing their automotive in the middle of the street. There's a little tiny woman about 4'5". She pushing this big old 450. I know she can't push that by herself. So
Right,
I'm gonna get myself to where I can say, you want me to help you? You know what
right.
I'm saying? Or I'm going to just get up and help her because I see that that's what needs to be done. And I know that I can apply myself to make it work. So, I mean, I do agree, there are a lot of people waiting, like they sitting here trick or treating. And
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of those people that be like, hey, excuse you, what you sitting here waiting for? Because you ain't finna eat nothing if you ain't
Right,
putting in work.
right, right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I'm one of those people. I'm
real
very
talk.
calm.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, my son calls me the red hen when it comes to that. When I act like that, he'd be like, "Ooh, mom, you're the red hen." I don't care. If you ain't help me get this stuff together, you ain't finna eat from me. You're not finna benefit from me. And you've been here the whole time. You've been here the whole time. You're aware of what you needed to do, what was going on, and you want to just eat off my plate, but you ain't good in this garden and do any work. Oh no, you won't be eating from my garden, baby. That's not gonna work.
And
And
I
we
see,
have to all have that
I think a
attitude.
lot of people are waiting on that from us, right?
Yep,
They're just waiting and watching with one
yep.
foot in the matrix and one foot out. Like,
But we
oh, let
have
me
to
see if they
understand
get
though.
some land,
But
then maybe we'll jump off. Then
we
we'll
have.
go then when they get some money or a check, then we'll go then. But they're not realizing that you got to sacrifice something in order for this shit to be valid. You understand?
Right.
If you don't
Facts.
sacrifice your comfortability or your place in this system, then you're not gonna receive the liberation that you keep crying and complaining about.
Right,
You
right.
know what
I
I'm
But
saying?
mean,
what
that,
we but one thing
And
about
you
our
can't
people
be.
we gotta understand is that our people we've been through a lot, so it's very hard to trust. Every day there's some new bullshit coming up, or there's some new shit coming up. So a lot of people protect themselves. They have to watch. They have to watch a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But we've been around for a little bit. I mean, y'all seen the
Yeah,
growth.
they should know, man.
Right,
They
they
should
see
know by
some
now,
Just
some
get a
Ty.
people,
feel.
right, some people who've been around for a long time. They should be up here. You know what I'm saying? That
Right,
those people
right.
right there,
but
we need to
really,
count them out. You're done. You're done. You know what I'm saying? But the new people that's coming in, you know what I'm saying? So new people that's coming in, we know it's gonna take y'all a little bit time to get the grips of what's going on, because
Right.
there's some weird shit or some scam going on every day, and you have to protect yourself. But if you've been
but
around
that's
since
the other thing. Ain't nobody
2018,
asked
bro,
nobody for that.
and you
Everybody
still
said,
side eyeing, and you still like you just leave it alone, bro. It's not for you. You know what I'm saying? You never gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
but
So
that's the only thing. This thing is a thing
And
where you're
and
coming
on
through. Like, am I being heard?
yeah, it's a little
Am I being
distorted
heard?
though. It's a little
it's a
distorted
I
little
was
though.
gonna say,
distorted,
Mama,
Auntie.
you sound like you kind of like in a tunnel or something.
Yeah, I'm having bad connection. Go ahead then.
I'm gonna have to
Dang.
send you one of these little LGs I got. They ain't like no hardcore phones, but they okay.
What
Yeah,
I was.
mine's back, and I'm sorry, you guys.
Go ahead, Mama, because we can hear you right now.
Oh, no, I was just saying, what he was saying, I agree to the extent that, just like you have a child or somebody that you care about, and you're always helping them, always giving them or furniture and stuff, and they might leave it anywhere, don't care about it. But when you got to work for, you begin to start saying, oh, cut them lights off. You leave the lights on in somebody else's place, like, because you don't realize how hard it is. But when you have to work for it, you protect it, you care about it, and you feel like, okay, it's mine. So it's just like this thing here. It gets in your soul, and it's something that makes you know, I gotta do this. Because, man, ain't nobody else gonna do it. So we're making history. We're making our own story, y'all. All of us.
That
And I appreciate that so much for your contribution.
big facts. I want to also put insight that some of us, like he said, we have trust issues. I am one of those people who did, but I also know that most of us have a natural instinct. Being aware and observant, you can kind of feel or see or get a feel for what you do and don't like, who you think you could kind of grow to, and you can warm up. We are not physically in each other's space. We are on the internet. You can warm up, reach out to someone and try to figure out if that's someone you would like to build with, grow with, talk to, and wean yourself in. Fear is something that we have to cut it out with. And this is coming from a person who experienced a lot in life, and I still dare to keep going because I I know that if I stay still, I'm still going to be there's still something I'm going to have to fight for. So why not fight along the way to where my destination is? And we need to start somewhere, even if you start with just your dietary, like going to the grocery store and stop buying processed foods, which is very difficult, I know,
Hmm.
but we have to start somewhere. Plant our own seeds, take our children out of these public schools. Once the school year begins, this is a new year. You don't have to go enroll those children. You have to start finding a curriculum that you want them to follow and build a schedule that you want them to build, because these children from the age of 7 and up, if they can play video games and learn how to play every gosh dang video game and write in song and all these songs in the world, they can figure out how to pick up a book and write some notes, and they can figure out how to apply themselves as far as let's say you give them $100 and you tell them, I want you to research natural oils and skin products for our household. Give these children something to do, because we have that right. You just have to know, as a parent, a guardian, what your placement is and how to apply yourself and be able to apply yourself. because I am for sure one of those parents, y'all. I'm mama, grandmama, father, grandfather, uncle, and auntie to my children. Every
And
now
with,
and
I'm gonna tell y'all, learning with the chief, we learned that public school is they're working. They're working.
they are. They are
They
working.
are working.
They
They
are
are
working. So
implementing.
why?
What do you mean? Can you break that down a little bit?
Young people
I
teaching us.
got my grandbabies. Okay, they loud. Y'all take it. Tell them, inform them, let them
I
know.
just Oh shoot. Go ahead, Mama Chief, because I know you ready. I heard you laughing. You ready.
No, I want y'all to go ahead. Y'all got that. I'm doing something in the background. Okay.
Well, I can just say this. We already know that the school system is setting them up to do what? Follow a schedule, to a chain of command, to be heard and not
And feel.
to be seen and not heard. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We're teaching them to follow a schedule, wake up at 5 a.m. and hurry up and get dressed and run out that door to catch your bus to get there on time. We already working them into a schedule or a system of foolery, jail system, work system, slave system. Let's say that because, like I just told someone, I'm not going to slave to cave, and they're like, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "I have been disabled for over 15 years of my life. In between hand, I'm struggling to keep this job, that job, and take care of my children. And then I'm training them to do the same thing as me. No, I have to stop. Well, I'm struggling now. What is it going to be a difference from me struggling without the job? I started applying myself, looking at food pantries. When I did get money, I started buying seeds. So we have to retrain our children not to be trained to be slaves, period, because that's what the school system is doing. They teaching them to not accept their own identity. They're teaching them to be ready to go out here and become somebody else's working man, period. And if you
Hmm.
ain't a working man, you're going to be a failure. We already know you a failure because you don't know how to follow no damn direction. So we're going to put you in a jail system and we're going to make you work then. And this time we ain't gonna give you a choice of what pay you want. We're gonna give you pennies at a time and offer you these sloppy foods that's not good for you. We're gonna give you a sheet and a
Piece
cage
of
to put
bread,
yourself in. Yeah.
bread and
We're gonna,
water. I remember when I was little, they used to tell us in prison, you only get eat bread and water.
it's not bread and water, but it is damn
I
near
know, but
that.
that's just what that was the rumor when I was little, like 4, 5, 10.
See,
That was
that's
the
But
the
that's all you gonna want to eat is when you there. Cause I've been there. That's all you want to eat. The oranges look questionable. The apples are super questionable. Everything's soggy. You don't want to eat nothing. You don't want to eat nothing. I ate only the things that came sealed, and I knew it was sealed with all the air in it, which was them nasty stale Doritos that they give you every blue moon. And I ended up, after a couple of months, I ended up eating the apples and oranges. But that's basically right. All you get is bread and water in the jail and prison system. If that's what you want to live off of, then that so be it. But there's so much more to life than that.
See, look, this is the thing with the little court system though, because me and my brother was just facing life, right? Like people don't know the damn law, like you know what I'm saying? Like me and my brother just beat the feds, bro. Like they had two prosecutors, two legal aides, they had tons of so-called evidence, all that shit. Me and my brother was fighting for 3.5 years, and we finally beat these bitch ass motherfuckers. That's because we know the law. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know where we stand with shit. And we was using that shit and fighting them tit for tat for 3.5 fucking years. And we fucking beat them. My brother's about to be out this week. When he was 17 years old, he did a life sentence when he was 17. He got out and then he went back in, and that's where we was at right now. What I'm talking about, we was fighting for 3 years, and he finally beat that shit. We got a multi-million-dollar lawsuit on the way. You know what I'm saying? We about to sue the reporter because she wrote a article about my brother, basically saying he's guilty before he even went to trial. Um, and it's just about like the found, like people. It's like you can do your genealogy. You have to do that because everything that they owe you is in that genealogy. But the foundation is the Constitution and the law of the fucking land, man. And that shit stands for real. And I'm living proof because we just beat them in federal court, bro. In the one of the highest district courts in fucking America, in Pennsylvania, right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and I say this every time I'm on a thing, but no, like, nobody really talks about that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that's the
Not at all.
foundation. You can't build shit without a foundation. You know what I'm saying? That's the foundation. Our ancestors started that. Like I said in the preamble, the introduction of the Constitution, it talks about the posterity. We're the posterity. You know what I'm saying? So you got to prove that you're the posterity by getting your genealogy. Once you do that and you know the law of the land, you can move accordingly. You'll know what to do. It's in our spirits to do it. Like once you know, like, you know what I mean, like who you are, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been on my path since I was 7 years old. No fucking lie. 30 years. It took me 30 years to get to where I am. Now I know exactly where my peoples came from. I trace back 169 years. I even know the street. I just didn't start looking at the land patterns and all that shit yet. But I got the names. I got the damn street. My people used to in Cherokee County, North Carolina. They used to live on what is it, Hillside Lane in Andrews, in the town of Andrews, Cherokee County, North Carolina. I know exactly where the hell it is because I on the one site I got, it's called My Heritage. They got a pedigree map. So if you find your people's paperwork, you can go onto your file and look at the pedigree map, and it'll show you exactly where they used to fucking live and all that shit. So it's everything's out there. Like you just gotta want it, man. And if you don't, you're gonna be destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. Because they've been planning on doing all the shit they doing for years, man. Like we're playing catch up, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but that Constitution is the fucking foundation. That's our shit. Everything over here is our shit. They just
The
came later,
Constitution has to
and
be reiterated as well, though. That's very urgent and important for us to know who we are when it comes to the Constitution and reading it and understanding the words that we are reading.
yeah, because that's
Because
all right. Like how do most people get okay? Most people get cases and stuff. Most of our people get cases on through basic traffic stops that leads to illegal searches and seizures. You know what I'm saying? And then they get booked up with all these trumped up charges and all that stuff. But if they knew if they knew who they were and they knew the law of the land, if they knew the Constitution, they know that the 14th Amendment protects you from illegal searches and seizures. You know what I'm saying? And different stuff, and they can apply it, but people don't know. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Right.
because they
It's
they
all
don't
in
teach it in
there.
school anymore. They used to teach it. I remember it anyway. I remember they used to teach it, literally break it down in history class. And then I remember, like, probably by the time we got to middle school or high school, I'm gonna say in between the late 90s and early 2000s, so that y'all can get a roughage of where I noticed that they ceased it. They would only tell us a portion of the Constitution and run through it and then just skip, like what do I call it? Crash course it. They would just tell you basically, this is the history, this is how the land was found, and then our forefathers wrote this. This is Abraham Lincoln, this and so. Boom, we're done. That's how they now introduce it. And when my children were going to school, they also did a crash course. They basically just introduced it and then there was nothing else to it. So then if a child or a person is not aware of, okay, they just introduced us to something but didn't go over it, you're not going to know that you're missing something if you're not in tune to realize that they brought it to your attention, but they did not bring it to your face. You know what I mean? So it's in front of us, but we
Yeah,
literally have to pay that attention. And I hate using that word because I know what it means, but we need to be able to focus on all the things that is thrown in front of us and know what to lock into our brains and what to throw away, is what I'm trying to say. We need to
yeah,
know how to guide our own minds and not allow for someone to take our minds and put it on autopilot and drive it for us. That's what we need to do.
yeah,
Hmm. And that's what we doing. But if you if but if you go to the the first American Council Declaration of Reclamation. If you go to that page, you know what I'm saying, you would notice you see uh, the government of the United States. You'll see the structure, and right at the top of the structure, you will see the Constitution. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying? You will see the Constitution, and then it breaks down into different areas. Now, this
Yeah,
is
the
not my
executive, judicial, and legislator.
right. This is not my lane, but we're gonna. I just want to brush up on it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Miss Elite. You know what I'm saying? This is a little bit her lane too, so she do some of this as well. And so this is how they're pulling things off. When we talk about things and we talk about how they doing this and they're doing that, there's a system put in place that allows them to do that. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Yup.
not just and then some people, then on top of that, some people abuse the system. You see what I'm saying? Most
Very
abuse,
much.
most abuse, my opinion, comes from the state. The state is usually the number one abuser of the
Hell yeah.
laws of the lands. My opinion. And then you have your federal, which I would like to believe that they have better things to do than stop you at a stoplight. I
Oh,
would
the federal
I would
straight constitution, bro.
right,
Like
but I'm
I
saying
just went through it.
I
Like
would
they're
hope
straight constitutional.
I will hope they have something better to do and more important to do than to catch you jaywalking. You know what I'm saying? But your state got a little more time on their hand to watch you, to learn your behaviors, your patterns, all this
Right.
data that's being collected. You see what I'm saying? Your movements. So these states have access to things that we really don't understand. They have access to vast amount of our data. You see what I'm saying? And so this is why we need to collect our own data. If we have our own data, instead of looking at the data and saying, "Man, how can I squeeze an extra buck out of these people?" We will say, "Okay, well, how can I, give back to these people? How can I avoid taking more of their money? How can I, fix, because they're making these laws and they're making this information based on the data that they collecting." Now I'm gonna pinpoint the state. You know what I'm saying? Because I know states have lots of power and more power than we actually, than I think a lot of us actually
A lot of us
understand.
don't know that.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. And by this not being my lane, I can't break it. I can't break it down. So I'm
See,
I'm I'm fishing a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
the state just enforces codes and statutes and
No,
policies.
no,
They're
no,
policy
no. I'm
enforcement.
not
Like
talking about what they should be doing. I'm talking about
no,
what they are doing because
no,
they
that's
Right.
what
Because
I'm
they
because
saying.
need
they're
That's
to.
what they are
abusing.
doing. Like
No,
that's
no,
what
I'm
they're
saying,
doing.
but they're
Like
abusing them. They're taking the Constitution and they're taking the system, putting in place, and on many levels, the stuff is being abused. They're taking all our data, and they're figuring out, okay, well, you know what, we're just up here, Minnesota, we just had a new law. You can't have your phone or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's due to car crashes, or anything like that. That's due to the amount of people who's on their phone and driving. I think I can get an extra buck out of them. You see what I'm saying? Now we do know
yeah,
that we do know, what I'm saying, that's that can be dangerous. But when you look at your state's records and see, okay, how many people, is that really gonna make the streets safer? Are you really gonna be in? Is this law really gonna make it safer? No, it's not.
bro.
What it's gonna do is gonna get them paid more. You see what I'm
Revenue.
saying?
Yeah,
Right.
they're for
Revenue.
profit corporation, bro.
Right,
That's what
right,
they that's what they
right.
do,
And they
and
and they
that's what the codes and the policies are for
right, and
for
they
for for the Negroes
but
and
see,
the
but
and
see,
the and the and the and the and the U.S. citizens, the statutory citizens that they got us assimilated
but
with.
but
You know what I'm
there
saying?
but the thing though is that there's a base to why that law is there. That law is based on the data they collected. They
No, see,
collected
Right.
different types
bro,
of they collected in the state of Minnesota. They collect years and years worth of data before they got that law. You see what
it's
I'm saying?
codes and statutes. It ain't law though. That's what I'm saying. That's
Whatever you
on the
want to
state
call it,
level. It's not law.
whatever the proper
Can I
name
say
for
something?
it, that they're taking the information that they collected and they saying we can make a buck off of it. That's pretty much, whatever
They
names
go
are.
by numbers, and we are the numbers that they go by. They don't even go by them.
Thank you. Thank
Right,
you.
right,
They tell
right.
us that we are the minority, but we are only minority because we're still being treated as children. We are
Yep.
Or
minors
property.
because we are still in their system as minors. We have not corrected our status. That's why we are minorities and not majorities. They are not more than us. Majority means that you have taken your place in society and you govern yourself. Government to government. They
Thank you.
are in control of us as we speak until we correct our status. I just want to say this. I'm going to relinquish the mic. Back to the educational thing. I couldn't find my documents what she was talking about, what we learned on, but it is a code for this, and I will find it. But I pulled up this, and I did share it in the back chat. And it says mass education was the ingenious machine constructed by industrialism to produce the kind of adults it needed. The problem was inordinately complex. How to pre-adapt children for a new world. A world of repetitive indoor toil, smoke, noise, machines, crowded living conditions, collective discipline, a world in which time was to be regulated not by the cycle of the sun and the moon, but by the factory whistle and the clock. The solution was an educational system that, in its very structure, simulated this new world. This system did not emerge instantly. Even today, it retains throwback elements from pre-industrial society. Yet, the whole idea as assembling masses of students, raw material to be processed by teachers, workers in a centrally located school factory was a stroke of industrial genius. The whole administrative hierarchy of education, as it grew up, followed the model of industrial bureaucracy. The very organization of knowledge into permanent disciplines were grounded in industrial assumptions. Children marched from place to place and sat in assigned stations. Bells rang to announce changes of time. The inner life of the school thus became an anticipatory mural, a perfect introduction to industrial society. The more criticized features of education today, the regurgitation, lack, and of individualization, the rigid system of seating, grouping, grading, and marking, the authoritarian role of the teacher are precisely those that made mass public education so effective, an instrument of adaptation for its place and time. I relinquish the mic, but at that time, it came from Russia to the school system. So we see where we go and send our kids, our children, back up. Our children too. It's sad.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, so we have to, what I'm saying, we definitely got to understand how they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? They are doing it, but there's how they're doing it is just as important. You see what I'm saying? Because how they're doing it is determined how we're gonna either do it ourselves, how we're gonna do it back, and how we're gonna prevent it. Because it's gonna be, whatever we do is gonna be a combination of that. Doing it ourselves, doing it back to them, or just trying to prevent it. You see what I'm saying? And so this is why, you know this is why it's important. And so, when in my lane, is it's my job to make sure that um we have we make decisions based on information based decision. This is how corporations are run. You know what I'm saying? I know we might sound like and seem like some type of political group or some type of political organization, but we are structured and we are ran like a like
Our
like
own
a
government.
like right like a corporation. I just say corporation. I don't you know what I'm saying? I just say corporation. And corporation make they don't just make passionate decisions. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't make passionate decisions. They make decisions based on information they collected. That's why when your new software comes out for your new iPhone or for your new Android, it's gonna come out, and it's gonna come out pretty soon within a couple weeks. And when you got to download it, that new download is based on information that they collected. You see what I'm saying? They not just every now and then they might throw a trick in there and try something new. But even that trick, they collecting the information on that trick and something new, and they say, well, that was a hit, so we're gonna do more of that. And they might say, no, people really wasn't using that feature at all, so we're gonna dismantle it. And so even when it comes to the new thing that they're doing to YouTube, um, the new system that they have in place. That wasn't just a passionate like because we think like, oh man, they just want to interrupt black people. And no, they collected certain amount of data and they figured out a way that they can get more money with it, and then they implement it. You see what I'm saying? This is their psyche. This is how they work. It's very simple. You see what I'm saying? Because we already know where they're going. We always know where they're going. They're going after the data. And once they get to the data, they're going after the money. Very simple. That's like a robot that can only do those things. A robot that can only collect your data and figure out a way to get money from it. They move so slow, bro. That's slow and sloppy to me, bro. You see what I'm saying? With the right tools and the right people, man, we will shred through all this bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Like if you can understand what exactly we could do. You see what I'm saying? They're not that powerful. They're not that clever. They're not that smart because they only after two things: data and more money. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Not to mention, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention they might wanna, they want to enhance. Everybody know that they need to enhance themselves and they need to survive and all that other stuff. But all that stuff counts too. But when it comes to you know the meat, that's pretty much how they been ran the whole time. So we have to stay focused on how are they pulling this off? Exactly how are they doing this? They poisoning your water. Okay, how the hell are they doing that? Can you explain to me how are they poisoning? What system in place even allows them to poison their water? Okay, they giving us GMO fruit. Exactly how are they doing that? You see what I'm saying? What system in place allows them to do that? There has to be a person who say, oh yeah, that's okay. See what I'm saying? And so we in the era right now where we need to document these hows for the next generation. You see what I'm saying? We just can't be another guy with a speech, you know what I'm saying, with no, you know what I'm saying, another guy with speeches and YouTube videos who's old as hell and you know what I'm saying, you have these people watching these videos. No, we have to give this stuff and pass this stuff on. You see what I'm saying? So the other generation, they would come across these books, they would come across this stuff, this information due to this platform or whatever that we had, you know, serve for them. But definitely download the declaration. You know what I'm saying? We take the information from the declaration and we section off into different sections. You know what I'm saying? You have your Midwestern, Mid-Atlantic, and so we want to hook up with each other in those regions before we go national. You see what I'm saying? Right now, People's Town is heading the pack, and that's down there in Georgia. You know, Get your own people's town in Midwest up here. We need our own. Mid Atlantic. You need your own people's town. You know what I'm saying? Southwest region. Over there in Texas, you need your own people's town. West Coast, upper West Coast, you need your own people's town. You see what I'm saying? And so each people's town would then sit at the table and say, look, I'm people's town, you know, uh, Wisconsin. Well, this is people's town, uh, Las Vegas. That's people's town, such and such a Texas, and this people town Baltimore, and we sit at the table and we say, okay, this is some of the decisions and this is some of the data that I have collected from my town. And with this information and with this data, these are some of the moves that we could make. You see what I'm saying? So we got the could moves, we got the this is 100%. We doing this moves, and we got the what if factor, the probability, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So this is how we're constructing this. You see what I'm saying? It's very simple, but we have to stay focused. I know it's a lot of distractions and it's a lot of personalities. It's a lot of distractions and it's a lot of personalities. You see what I'm saying? And this is, when you're downloading the declaration and when you supporting us, you're telling us that we're doing something right. You see what I'm saying? You're telling us, okay, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? When you coming on to the panel and you download, you let us know you're with that. You know what I'm saying? So as we get to the table, all the people's towns through all the different regions, as we get to the table, we say, okay, well, now we work together. We say, now let's get us one big people's town, where some of Southeast can go there. Some, you know what I'm saying? We can get one big people's town. You see what I'm saying? Or, I mean, it's so much we can do. It's just so ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's so much we can do. That's why I say we are in a good time, you know what I'm saying, in our lives. But a lot of us don't see it. And I see it. And it's exciting as hell. You see what I'm saying? But, you and this is, I mean, I really can't spell it out or tell it any better than that. If you see what I'm saying. And we definitely appreciate all the people that's stepping up, and we appreciate all the sisters that's stepping up, because a lot of us was raised by our mother, so we as some type of tense, we trust our women more. We give them more trust. You see what I'm saying? If a woman came up here and said the same exact shit I said, people would take that shit more. It would be more valuable to them. You see what I'm saying? So we definitely appreciate y'all, and we need y'all.
Happy grand rising
But I
to
gotta
my
step away for a minute. I'll be right back, y'all.
It's a day of your creation. So
Halito,
good,
so
so
you having a
good.
happy day.
Happy day for Mama G. Oh yeah,
Right, right, right.
that was my Luther Vandross. You know what I'm saying?
I
Peace,
love it.
Oh no.
Peace, everybody. Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh, y'all, appreciate being here with you guys. It's very awesome. Awesome.
It feel good just to hear it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I express it. It feel good to hear it. So the more people express it, it just makes you feel good, Mama. You need that energy.
Most
I really do. I tell y'all, I woke up and I started to stay asleep. And all of a sudden, something, it must have been a message, but it sounded like my great grandbaby alive. And I woke up, I just had a dream. But I jumped up and I'm like, where did the baby laugh come from? So I just got her up and stuff, sitting around the house to clean up, talked to my mother, told her happy birthday. She didn't understand until I explained it to her. And that was good. And then here come one of my neighbors, whom I've been knowing since I've been here 9 years. Him and his children called me the lady on The Incredibles. I don't know if y'all know anything about that or not. I don't. There's some lady on there. They said that's me. They said she make all the super little hero clothes and stuff. So his children said that's Miss Adaya. That's Miss Adaya right there. So I'm that lady in the community that they
that's
say is
cute.
on these murders. They said they're gonna show me today. So he came up and knocked on my door, and I tell you, he's with the Caucasian. That's one I told you. Say this Canaanite worrying me. He knows, but he with his children. And I gotta love it. I love him because he with his babies, and that's what I respect about him. So when he came and knocked on my door, And because I had said I thought about getting some fish and just frying some fish for my people here in my community. Because they got mad love for me, and I appreciate it. He came and told me he want to go and get the fish and get whatever else we need because he want to do it. I was like, what? He said, yeah, I want to do it. I want to just hang out with you today. Because I call him in and put a tambourine and some knockers in his hands, and me and him will play some music from the soul for a minute, and he'll run out my door all energized up. So, he just want to hang with me today, him and his lineage, and I think that's awesome.
Well, Mama, I try to make sure all of the children is here. Hey, Copper Empress, all your young lineage is on, Mama.
Hey, Empress. Hey, Empress.
Hey, how y'all doing? Happy solar return. Hey, Cherokee Outlet. Happy solar return, Chief.
Thank you, my dear sister. I love you. Can't wait to get that.
Peace and love, Empress.
Peace and love, bro. Peace and love, Yashua. And Libra. That's my big bro, Libra son.
Peace, love.
Peace and love, Joseph. Some love,
Peace and love. Empress.
Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandma Chief. Happy birthday, Grandma Chief.
Oh, thank you, my grandbabies and Callie. Love you. This is the best day ever, y'all.
Now that just made me laugh with joy. I'm glad that you feel like this is the best day ever. That's how we should be feeling when we come together every day.
This is the best day ever. I mean, but we don't, we do. That's the only thing I really celebrate when it comes talking about holidays. Because I know that I had to do that one. I had to get here some kind of way, so I will do a celebration for that. But awesome just to be with like-minded people, and I know I'm not stupid, foolish, and crazy. I'm not nice with it at all.
No.
It's just that it's awesome to have that connected energy. I don't know where y'all feel it. I feel like my wings got to clapping in.
Slap them, feathers up.
I was just feathers up, you hear me? I'm gonna get my music going. It's gonna be on. I bet you one thing though, y'all. I ain't gonna get tipsy and get on the air, okay?
Mama,
I was just finna tell her she disappeared.
I muted it. I'm done.
Oh, okay. You meant to mute it.
Rising.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm
What up, JoJo? What up, Chadaki? Empress, Libra, Letty?
What up? What it do?
Hey. And hi, Libra. I didn't see you come on, Libra. I apologize.
That's all right. Peace and love, sis.
I heard my happy Earth Day. I appreciate it too, Libra.
Appreciate you too, Mama.
I don't even. I be like, he turned 5.
Yeah.
And
like
this is Cherokee. I wanted to tell you about the indigenous first American. Wait, my baby. The first American. Oh God, the Declaration I think is excellent. I want to commend you on that. It was an excellent writing.
Oh, thank you, sis.
I haven't got my copy yet, but I heard great things about it, Libra.
I'm sure looking like, what did I miss? What did I miss? Can I get
It's like all of us should definitely put it in, go take it and have it bonded at the Office Depot or somewhere. Have it bonded in that low. It's not leather, but I'm going to take mine back because I'm telling they need to redo it.
You want
But still have it bonded put into the stuff, the plastic covering,
Yeah,
and
the
have it as
lamination.
yeah,
Laminate.
the laminate, and have it as a carry around document where you go. Hey, that's your decoration. It's a part of you now.
Facts, mama. You know, Chief gonna one up you though, right? he he talking about getting it written in stone.
Oh, absolutely. Take one of those statues. They get them fake statues down and put it in granite.
Right, you know.
Granite. Edison, Georgia is where the granite area. Go over there and get us a piece of that granite.
You know. Yeah.
Any type of rock, it could be rose quartz, it could be any type of huge stone
No, but
that has some placement to some vibrational purpose to it. That's what we really need to be doing.
I appreciate everybody's uh the way everybody feel about it and been taken to the document. I just appreciate y'all for that though. Means a lot to me.
Well, actually, we appreciate you for thinking of us. Means a lot to us that you thought about doing that.
Indeed.
That's what we. That's what we got. That's what it's about. All of us realizing that. I mean, like my sister, she'll say, "Well, y'all need to make a flyer." I said, "No, you need to make a flyer." Don't come telling me what nobody else need to do. You know what needs to be done, and you ain't doing it. You a problem.
There you go.
That's what I meant by we need to apply ourselves to what
I'm
we
behind
already
y'all
have.
100% on that. Yes, yes, yes. That's true. Apply it.
And that's because I'm gonna tell you my intentions were to get as many people involved in that project as I could, but I figured that I at least had to start it to kind of jumpstart the situation. And once people see it being started, then maybe they would feel inclined to be a part of it. Didn't
Hey,
quite
Libra,
work out that way, but it's a start.
I got a question for you, Libra.
Yes,
What area are you located in? What state?
Maryland.
Oh, okay. So I was just finna tell Mama Chief. Um, Nonetheless, and Antoine is over in Maryland too. So y'all
Right.
over in Maryland together. That's beautiful. Mama Chief, Antoine got a lot of family he's going to send to help you with People's Town in Atlanta. So I was going to
Well,
tell you.
Antoine is our cousin too, right?
Oh yeah. We family.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, I'm glad the mother you have taught that he is going to do that. So that's what's up. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but that's what's up. I need all of it.
Right, and Libra.
Did anybody see what I sent in the back chat though yesterday? I sent the whole. I mean, if y'all don't get on the field for People's Time off of that,
Yeah. Everybody did. And Libra,
yeah.
the reason I brought that up is because I know, like, you know what I'm saying, Ty got you in position over in one of those regions. Now I explained to them the trades and skills centers. So I'm gonna get you a copy of it because I know that you write, you know what I'm saying, and you proofread. So if you can, enhance it and implement it when I get you the actual project Tomahawk over there for Maryland area, you know what I'm saying, you can design it to correlate with that area over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed, man. And not only that, though, I'm in the trade, so
Oh, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So
Okay. So
I
I
do
can get that to you.
industrial air conditioning and stuff.